And glad to be aboard. Drive time, West Coast. That's Andy Flowers, Andy Fiore.
Hello.
The producer, and Brendan Stipes, who's on the phone already. He's probably talking to his brother who's in jail in Kentucky. They call him Soft Serve. Why'd you give me the bird? I'm making your brother a star, for Christ's sake.
No, yeah, not you.
Oh, what was that? He gave me an Italian gesture, the fucking elbow bent.
I'm Irish. I didn't know that meant anything in Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, how are you, folks? First of all, let me thank my contributors to my podcast real quickly. James Shearer, thank you for the financial contribution, as Tony Soprano would say. And Chris DeVito. He's at the pork store. That's a combination. Thank you guys contributing. If you want to sign up for the podcast, you go to connectpal.com/Nick. Connectpal.com/Nick. And you get what you get. You get a free show on Monday, which is on iTunes, Riotcast, Stitcher, etc., etc. And then you get 4 more shows. We boil down the best of this show to an hour or so. Mr. Stipes does a wonderful job of that. And for $3.99 a month, you get 4 more shows a week. And people are still signing up, and you can contribute financially on top of the $3.99 if you feel you have that kind of cash. And I know under the Trump administration, you probably do. Things are coming back. If you work in a coal mine in Kentucky, or you Kentucky, I just said Kentucky again. You can contribute to the show. ConnectPal.com/Nick. Tomorrow we're off, folks. We're going to play a best of, because I will be at the Fat Black Pussycat tomorrow night here in New York City, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're in the area, come to the Fat Black Pussycat. I'll be working on some new stuff. So it's a nice hip place for you guys. First time here on the show, right in the Village. It's the Comedy Cellar owners. It's right around the corner. It's more hip than any of their popular rooms. It's a lounge type thing. It's way, so Colin Quinn's there like 3 times a week working on new stuff. You bring your notes up. It's all couches and it's like you're sitting in somebody's living room, like couches and lamps and end tables, and it's a very gay look, and I enjoy it, personally. It's a good place to do comedy and to bomb quietly. So that's why we're doing a best of, because I couldn't make it in, because that show's at 8:30. This show starts at, you see the conflict, but then the rest of the week we're free. Come see me also August 25th and 26th, the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. August 25 and 26, that's a Friday and Saturday night. My boy Vinny Brand runs it. And September 16th, the Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. I did it last year. It was one of my favorite gigs of the year. I might even bring Andy Flowers. Don't quote me on that one. Andy Fiore, if you're around, maybe we'll do that one together. But I don't need somebody funny in front of me. Go to nickdip.com for tickets and check out my tour dates. Enough of that horse shit. How are you, folks? What I want to talk about today. Boy, kind of sad day in the day of sports. Don Baylor, who I absolutely adored. He was a Yankee at one time, a Red Sox, an Oriole, and everything else. He passed away from cancer at 68. And Darren Dalton, a great catcher for the Phillies, who was their catcher when they won the pennant in 1993. Actually, I think he went on to win one with who was it, Andy? I have it here anyways. The Marlins in 1997 when they beat the Indians. But I was very sad about this today. I like both those.
There's no crying in baseball!
The fuck there isn't. I had a little lump in my throat, and it really... Baylor was an MVP. Do you realize that in 1979? He's had cancer for 14 years. Just to give you a little... I just want to give you a little on him. Orioles, Athletics, Angels, Yankees, Red Sox, Twins, 19-year career. All-Star and an MVP in 70. Can you imagine being MVP of the whole league? That's something, man. I was the MVP in Little League. It wasn't even that. I get picked off. I didn't tell you guys that I used to have to wear hand-me-downs. We were poor. I had to wear hand-me-downs, and I had 2 older sisters, and I got picked off because I was wearing my sister's hoop skirt. It's a true story. Anybody? Nothing? Brendan, don't get all cocky over there. Your brother's in jail. You'll be there in a few minutes if you don't fucking get that look off your face. But he won a World Series with the Twins in 87, Don Baylor. How about this? 338 career home runs. 1,276 ribbies. That is... Don't give me that Yankee cocky look.
I'm thinking if he's a Hall of Famer or not.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's why I've said those numbers don't really...
Because... Those numbers don't what?
Hall of Fame numbers.
Really?
300 home runs, 1,200 hits. Said,
oh, yeah? So Wade Boggs, that Punch and Judy fucking jerk-off who played for my Red Sox, who hit for average. Look at his power numbers. He doesn't belong in the Little League Hall of Fame.
Is he? Is he in?
Oh, he's in the Hall. Oh, sure. Because average means everything. It's the least important statistic in baseball, batting average. Look at his power numbers. He averaged about 14 homers a year and about 60 RBIs. P fucking you. You're going to be in the... This is a Red Sox fan talking, folks, about Wade Boggs, okay?
Well,
sure, he's a nice guy. He eats a lot of chicken, a lot of pussy. We've all heard these stories. Unlike Andy Fiore, who enjoys young Cub Scouts.
That's true.
How about 52 steals one year for Baylor? I always pictured him as a big muscular. 285 steals, 14 different major league teams as a player, coach, or manager. And he's had cancer for 14 years, okay? So, rest in peace. And then Darren Dalton, Phillies catcher. This is what's creepy about this story about Dalton dying of cancer. He was diagnosed with glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer that also took the lives of Tug McGraw, former teammate, and former coach John Vukovic. Anybody want to look into asbestos in that locker room? Seriously. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be funny. What the fuck? Anybody? Half the left side of the infield passed away, and it's like, Jesus Christ, really? Somebody want to check the showers or whatever? Those buildings weren't approved back then. Fenway, you don't think that place is dripping with mesothelioma? Dalton played 14 and a half of his 15 major league seasons with the Philadelphia Phillies. And he won a World Series with the Marlins. 1997. Now, here's numbers that aren't the Hall of Fame, okay? 245, 137 homers, and 588 ribbies in 1,100 games.
No.
Okay? But today, where everybody gets a trophy, they kick it around. Well, they liked him a lot. He got laid a lot. But he led the National League. Went to 3 All-Stars, 109 ribbies in 1992. Rest in peace, both of you, because to make a professional sports team is phenomenal in the first place. And baseball is the most difficult, I believe. It's like 1 in 70,000 or something. That's why I laugh when I see people at the park going, you stink, you suck, sit them down. Really? Really, shithead? With a Shamrock t-shirt on and the freckles? Anyways, I like to start the show on a dour note. And this just in, Brendan Stipe's sister has a cyst on her foot that's been infected and she has a fever. Yeah, so 2 guys that I really appreciated. Yeah, what went on this weekend real quickly? I'd like to get to the news and trigger the calls, but I have a real problem with passive-aggressive people. I almost respect people who are aggressive outright. I respect somebody who will stick a gun in your face and rob you at a bodega before I respect somebody who's snooty to you, but with a smile on their face and cutting you to ribbons, even though they're a hateful little fuck. Well, I had that experience. I went out to eat with my mom and dad and a friend of mine and went to a local restaurant, and this waitress waited on me, and I'd say she's 6'2", about 205, with a tattoo on her arm. So just painting a picture for you. And anyways, she sits down. First thing out of her mouth, she brings water to the table. She goes to my buddy in this tone, move that napkin. So right away, I got a fucking problem. And my buddy who's sitting next to me, his family's in the restaurant business, so move that napkin. Just like that. I had to bite my tongue right there. But the fun's just beginning. Then we order our things. She comes back. She goes, who had the beer? Which I did. I don't know how she can forget with the other, because everybody else had water or Diet Coke, whatever. So, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I had the beer. Then we order our appetizers and shit. Yeah, comes back. Who had the soup? Which was me. And she brings me a cup instead of a bowl. Now my buddy goes, now she's fucking with you. Because, and again, I'll explain why I think she is. So I'm not going to say anything still, because my mother's there. And my dad, who's, not really paying attention. Order our entrees. I go to fish. Haddock. From New England. Love it. Would you like, I said, can I get chowder? Before I go to my soup, I said, I want chowder. And she puts her hands on her hips and literally rolls her eyes. That's only on Friday. And then she rattles off 9 soups that she said it so fast that nobody could understand. Just, again, passive-aggressive horseshit. So I said, what was the third one you said there, Mumbles? I didn't say that. I said, I'll have a bowl of minestrone. She brings me a cup of minestrone. Again, biting my fucking thing. What do you want with your fish? I'll have French fries. Brings the eye. Puts my fish down with rice pilaf next to it. Now I'm fucking steaming. My friend's like, don't, your mother's here. Ba-ba-ba. Keep you cool. Na-na-na-na. A few minutes later, halfway through the meal, anybody need water? My mother goes, I need water. I go, I'll have a water too. She comes back with 1 glass of water, puts it in front of my mother, and then I look at her and I go, do you have a fucking problem with me? And that's when my mother's like, no, don't. And I just give her a hateful look. My mother's sweating bullets. It's not a place she frequents a lot, so fuck this. So I go, you got a fucking problem? Are you serious? That's what she says. I go, you haven't heard a word I've said. You've got 3 things fucking wrong. I gave you the benefit for the first 10 minutes. Now whatever. My friend said, take it easy. By the way, he used to be more crazy than me when it comes to this shit. Has anybody experienced this? So here's my take on it. My mother didn't understand. I go, Mom, you're always talking about how everybody knows me, in the local area. Which is fucking true. I'm not famous by any stretch, but locally. And I go, do you think she voted the same way I did? Seriously. She could have been, a defensive end for the Eagles. I have to explain to my mother. I go, you say I'm fucking famous. Do you think she might know who I am when I walked in here? Because I know the other people did. The other waitresses I heard. And she obviously hates what I stand for. Well, this could all be my imagination. I don't think so. Not after fucking with me 3 times. It felt so good, I'd do it again. But I had to explain, my mom, right away jumps to anybody's side but mine. Because, we have a kind of a contentious. Love it or death, don't get me wrong. But Andy has the same problem, Andy Fiore. I'm closer to the old man. I don't know why. For whatever reason. But am I wrong here, folks? Really? Who had the beer? Who had the soup? Then the wrong size soup? I'll have French fries, rice pilaf. There's 4 of us. It's not a party of 22. It's not a party, not a bachelor party with fucking 85 drunk. There's 4 of us. 2 of them are in their 80s. And I'm sitting next to my butt. You think you could... And then, Brendan, seriously.
Now the rice pilaf is what kind of sets me over the end,
And I bit my tongue with the rice pilaf. That's the one that put me over, too.
That's a dead giveaway.
That's a dead... How do you confuse French fries with rice pilaf, you fucking tattoo-wearing ass? Guarantee she knows who I was. I probably went to high school with her, for Christ's sake. She looked a little younger than me. I know there was a family that did not like me, the girl I graduated with. Very Italian looking. This could have been a relative. Then again. But I'm just saying. I am just saying. I had more respect if she dumped that soup over my head like Tom Cruise in that movie, fucking Cocktail. Instead of trying to, oh, really? Oh, mistake. Oh, I forgot again. Jesus Christ, is that ballless. That's the equivalent of being on Twitter and being anonymous. And, it's that same kind of cowardice, I should say. Oh, it fried my apples. Fucking Sarah B. Hucker Sanders. What's her name?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Sarah. Andy came up with that one. Angers me. 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. And I contend that we live in such a politically contentious time that douchebags like that, who were that far left, I could tell she wanted to arm wrestle me, to get the point, would do something like that. I really do. And you can call me paranoid, whatever the fuck. It was so obvious. My buddy picked up on it. And, after I explained to my mom, it made a little more sense. Of course, she can never go back there again. But it's my buddy. My buddy goes, I wish you didn't do that because, your parents still have to. I go, they've eaten here twice in the last fucking 2 years. Relax. The haddock was killer, by the way. I'd go there again and put up with her shit. That's how good the food was. I would go back there, and the haddock was tremendous. It's about a foot long, about 4 inches wide, with a light batter on it, flaky crust. Only thing salty was the bitch serving it. Motherless. Am I wrong? That's the times we live in. I just really believe she knew, And again, I'm not saying that would happen in any other state. My mom's like, "Oh, you're famous. Why?" "Well, the guy at Logan Airport asked if you're a comedian." I'm like, "Okay, that's one person in 8 years." I am. I can't even go to the mall without getting mauled. Jesus Christ. But that's what the people on the left do. That's how they are. That's how they fight. Filthy. Should have thrown the haddock in my lap and get it out. 866-969-1969. Yeah, I have a real problem. Passive aggressive. I'd rather an aggressive person who just comes up and goes, "I don't like your fucking politics." Like the people calling in. "I don't agree with anything you're saying, but I find you funny." That's how many times have we heard that? "I don't agree with you politically," and I go, "Why?" Now I go, "Why the fuck not?" Obviously, most of the he didn't win the popular election. Well, yeah, that's true. But if we put together that voter fraud commission, we'll find out just how much he would have won the popular vote by, right? Instead of the thick-ankle dog face who's up in Chappaqua, laying behind a rock and crying like a bitch. Yeah, that really, it felt good. It was liberating. You ever cut loose, Andy Flowers, on somebody like that? Or had a similar experience? Because the comedy word's filled with passive-aggressive,
Yes,
right?
Which I hate as a quality in anyone, but I like to give servers benefit. I did that job and bartended for so long.
Don't you dare take that bitch's side. I'll come across there and shave your fucking face. Look at, he's dead serious. This guy, I'm starting to think you're a little humorless. I'm kidding.
No,
go ahead.
You asked if I'd ever done that.
Well, you have a shirt on that says "Wussy."
It's a band I like.
That's a band?
Yeah, it's a band name. Not great.
Are they as good as Fish? By the way, the Fish was terrific. So, yeah. No, the comedy world is filled with passive aggressive.
Absolutely.
How about, I'll give
My
you...
mother, yeah,
Your mother's passive aggressive?
Oh, God.
Your mother's a passive aggressive? That's because she's an older woman. She's what? She'll be 106 on Tuesday.
She's 71.
Oh, 71. Huh? Still hanging in there.
Old man. The old man.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
22-year difference.
Yeah.
My grandfather, 23-year difference. 23. That's the name of a band, Wussy, and it's got a really ugly girl in the fucking...
Yeah.
Well, let me give you an example of a passive-aggressive in the comedy world. I'll give you a perfect example, whether it's a fan or another comedian. "Hey, I saw your special on whatever." Yeah, you saw it? It's usually followed by "very funny" or whatever.
Right.
Or "I saw you at the Comedy Cellar last Wednesday." And they stop there. "Yeah, motherfucker." That's like going, "I saw you doing an open heart surgery on a 2-year-old baby," and just stopping there instead of saying, "How did it turn out?" Am I right? You've dealt with these people in show business.
Absolutely.
It's filled with them. Because the show business is filled with cowards. Kids who got picked on in school and who didn't have the balls to, because they were small and the parents were mean at them. You know what I mean? 866-969-1969. It's the worst quality in a person. It really pisses me off. You want to see that? Like Jim Acosta on CNN giving a lecture the other day. Did you see that Stephen Miller guy? The guy with the dead rape eyes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Did he clean his clocks? Really? You've never met anybody outside of Britain that speaks Spanish? Oh, my God. He made this politically correct douchebag look like the douchebag that he is. And then he quoted the Statue of Liberty. Oh, it was beautiful. Let's go to Ryan in Connecticut on line 2. Ryan, welcome to the show. I worked myself up into a leather. How are you?
Thank you, sir, for having me on.
Oh, my
Big
pleasure.
fan of your work.
Thank you.
I'm a prior veteran, and I'm trying to break into stand-up comedy. And let me tell you, brother, it's hard trying to come up with an act that's not going to get me roasted at the fucking stake here. Let me tell you.
Did you say you're a veteran?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, thank you for your service. Not that it matters. What branch were you in?
U.S. Navy Seabees, the men's department in the Navy.
Wow. Did you say the men's department?
Yeah, I drove dozers and I carried an M16 and did what I had to do, you know?
Do you hear what he said? He drove dozers and fucking carried an M6. That is Oh, my. I didn't even know they had the Department of the Navy.
You ever seen the movie Fighting Seabees with John Wayne? You need to watch it.
With John Wayne?
It actually, it entails our inception to the United States Navy.
I have not seen that, but I will check that
It's
out.
on your to-do list, obviously, sir.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, so now you're trying to break into comedy.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and it's insanely hard to try to make an act that's not going to piss people off, but I understand to make an omelet, you got to break a couple of frickin' eggs.
Right away, I can tell you have, I think, what it takes, actually. Anybody who drives a bulldozer and carries a gun at the same time. My father did. He worked at the city dump in my hometown. Yeah, no, you
Funny
can't.
enough, I used to be a garbage man.
Look, you don't. I think Ryan's got it. Let me tell you about the Northeast. There's a lot of.
Well, I'm in Connecticut, but I root for Boston, believe in Boston.
Yeah. But where'd you grow up?
That goes without saying.
Where'd you grow up, Ryan?
I grew up in a little hick town called New Milford, Connecticut.
New Milford. I know where it is. Yeah.
It was the town where Mr. Deeds was filmed.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay. You say that like it was You say that like there was a Godfather, that movie. Not everybody rushed out to see that piece of shit, but okay. I get your point.
Well, hey, I went and saw it because, and everyone joked with me in the service. They said, "Oh, you're from Mandrake Falls, New Hampshire." I'm like, "No, I'm from New Milford, Connecticut." Right.
I'm looking at the screen right now. Anyways, so don't. Here's my advice to you, Ryan. Don't worry about. The audience not liking what you have to say. That's half the beauty of doing what we do for a living. That, it's one of the few places, a guy that leans your way politically. And again, I'm making some presumptions here because you're a veteran, but that's the beauty.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning toward your side, but I want to try to do it. I'm trying to break in this day and age with social media. I can get crucified at the stake instantaneously if I even fart too loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, again,
I understand we get comedic license.
Fuck social media. It's about. Don't worry about it. Just how long you been doing comedy?
Tomorrow I go up for the fifth time in my career.
Yeah, that's 2 more times than my sister did. Listen, you're not a comedian.
Well, no.
Hey, listen to me.
I'm aspiring.
Yeah, you're exactly.
I'm really close.
But my point is, you have the right idea. Go out and speak from your heart and your gut. First of all, you've earned it, and let the chips fall where they may. Hopefully, on the head of a liberal jerk off in the front row. That's all I got.
I would love that.
All right.
The spraying with the M16, that'd be fucking splendid. But
yeah, don't go that far.
We can't do that. Especially,
no. Hit him in the chest with a full basket of chicken wings. I mean, yeah, but don't worry about it. Speak from your gut. Get on stage as much as you can. We thank you for your service. I'm coming up against a break here, so good luck to you.
All right. Thank you so much.
You got it, sir. You are correct, sir. One more call before the break. David in California. What's up, David?
Nick, welcome to the new time slot. I like it.
I love it, brother. I loved it. I lived on the West Coast for 4.5 years and had some good times there. I'm more of an East Coast guy, but I respect the drive time out there because, let's be honest, that's a captive audience, is it not, David, on the 405 at 5 o'clock?
Perhaps. Well,
wherever?
My personal thing is different because I don't get serious in my car, but who cares? But, actually what I was calling about is the waitress story.
Right.
Don't you really think that she just was a bad waitress? I mean, do you think she would have risked her tip?
Of course.
To piss you off?
I guess you don't know what a passive aggressive is. Yes, of course. Especially, how do you know how do you know she didn't already make her money that night before I even came in? And absolutely, I know telling the story you might not pick up on that vibe, but my buddy next to me picked up on it before I did. I mean, it's so, and you know what, Dave? I still tipped her like over 20%.
I was going to ask you that.
I did that because you know why? I'm not a fucking douchebag leftist who would have taken it to the grave. I gave her a nice tip to go, there you go. This is what we do on the right. I'm an unapologetic capitalist. Here's 22%. Get another tattoo, you thick-necked wolf.
Well, that was big of you.
It really was, because I'm a petty son of a bitch, Dave.
But I mean, don't you think you might be just a little bit? I mean, do you get this kind of treatment a lot from people in the
You don't
service
have to
industry?
get it a lot. I get it. Believe me, I'm very paranoid about, of course, you don't know. I could walk in and somebody saw me on Tough Crowd talking racial honesty, and they're going to spit in my fries.
But then people on the right would give you better service, I suppose.
Yeah, but they don't. They're in real jobs. They're trying to make real money. But yeah, not necessarily. But no, I'm Dave. I really am a good judge of character, and it was really obvious. And she had just her tone, even with my buddy when she goes, move that napkin. I mean, I wanted to reach out and choke her right there. And then when I accidentally ordered chowder and it wasn't available on set, you should have seen her. But and those are the two things I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. But the rest of it was pretty obvious. But wait, Dave, where do you live out there?
Santa Monica.
Oh, beautiful.
It's it's nice, but it's developing now, and the traffic is bad. It's not what it used to be, but it is pretty great.
What was it, Dave? What is it? The 3rd Street Promenade or the 4th? What is it? What's it called?
The mall. Yeah, the 3rd Street Promenade.
I spent many depressed nights after I found out bad news about an audition, and go out there and drink and lay on a bench with a homeless guy.
Well, we miss. I haven't seen you. I mean, I'm waiting for you to come out and play here somewhere, but you don't get out here that much.
I don't, because I can make the same money driving over the George W. Bridge in 40 minutes.
Well, that makes sense.
But you know what? I do got to get out there because now we're drive time, and there are a lot of my fans out there. So thank you for calling, Dave. I appreciate it.
Okay, good luck.
All right, brother. Let's take a break, folks. The phones are lit up as usual, and we'll come back, take some more calls on this. And I'd like to also talk about Google. I mean, they're all over the news today with their stupid, their stupid leftist agenda and their fascist fucking ways. They're going to decide what's hate speak and it's just unbelievable to me. Can we break up these? I don't hear about monopolies when we're talking about high tech. And you notice that? Anybody? Anyways, we'll talk about that. We'll take a few more calls on this situation, you people who have dealt with passive aggressives. 866-969-1969. Sit tight, kids. I was talking about an experience I had with what I thought was a very passive aggressive waitress. And I know I'm not the only one out there, but, Let's go to Keith in Long Island. Keith, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Nick.
What's up, brother?
Got to get used to your time now, too. I get out at 4:30, so, kind of get a couple of in you and stuff, but, drinking. But anyhow, I've dealt with that with my moms, too. But, I guess my mom's, because my mom's is a lot younger than your mom's, but my mom's a staunch conservative and stuff, but she was, Italian in her.
I think
my mom probably would have, definitely leashed out on that waitress and the passive-aggressive bullshit. I think, with you, but you explain with your mom and stuff like that, she's proud of you, and I'm sure that, it's a motherly thing for them to be like, to get,
yes,
concerned like that. And you know what? You did nothing wrong.
No, I didn't.
Because you know what? First off, the cops weren't called, right? So you got good on that.
Is that where you set the bar?
You were completely you were completely classy about the whole thing. You did it gracefully, and you tipped them too.
I don't know if you listen. Maybe you heard a different show. I kind of snapped a little bit, but I did tip. Yes, that's true. I did tip, and I think my friend twisted my arm to do that.
Yeah, but how'd you snap though? No one got offended or anything, like completely offended or anything like that.
Well, what do you mean? I'm sure the waitress did, but I said, "You got a fucking problem with me?" And I'm sure there were a few tables and.
Oh yeah, no, especially after you messed up the order. Those when she messed up the orders on you, and there's and it's definitely I'm just saying that you stood up for yourself, you standing up for your table, and nothing bad happened from it too. Maybe we're making a little progress, I guess.
Maybe, but we say nothing bad happened. But next time my mother goes in, they hit her with some hot grease from the fryer later in the face.
No, well, that's the thing. You're watching out for your moms too.
I wasn't. It was about me. It had nothing to do with my mom. But
really?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
All right. Well, you win.
Thanks.
You win now.
All right. All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Apparently, you were hitting the sauce. Keith's like, this time difference, it's a good excuse for me to have 11 fucking Mick Ultras and a couple of shots before I call the show. Frank has been on the line in New Hampshire. Frankie boy, welcome to the show.
Nick, how are you doing?
Well, Frank, let me ask you, have you ever experienced, and again, there's a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit different because local people know me because of stand-up and whatever. You know what I mean? They know my politics and stuff. So that's what this is about, me walking in and her taking a dislike to me and then her proving it with her shitty, have you ever experienced anything like that, Frank?
Well, first of all, I agree with how you handled what you did, Nick. We've all, I think, had bad experiences in restaurants with some flake waiter or waitress. And I mean, I can picture myself saying, "You got a fucking problem with me?" I could just, my eyes lit up. I was like, "Yeah, that's it." And I think a couple of points. You mentioned you heard the other waitresses talking when you rolled in, and she had to have known who you were, and if nothing else, she's an absolute loony, or she knew who you were, and that's what I'm going with. Well, and you held off. Your friend that was with you is in the restaurant business or whatever you mentioned.
His family was, yeah. So
his family was, tough business, but and you're trying to be nice, but finally, hey, enough is enough. And
here's the thing:
you got to tell her where the bear shits, and that's it.
It was one of two things. She was either being passive aggressive or she was a really incompetent waitress. And I can tell she had been there for years. She was having, she didn't want to be there then. I'm going with if you were completely somewhere else in another part of the country and this went on, I'd go with the bad waitress deal. But where you're in the area and the others are already talking, if she didn't know who you were, she certainly did by maybe hearing them or what have you. But I think I've been told that you probably have too, in different situations, business or whatever, people have said, go with your gut. Deal with it. Go with your gut. Whatever your gut feeling is. Your gut feeling was she was fucking with you. And I'm sure that's what it was. So, yeah, my instincts.
And you showed who you were in the end by tipping her.
Well, my friend made me. I be honest with you, I threw 3 ones down. It was $86 bill. I put 3 ones down. I was dead serious, and my buddy kept trying to. And I go, leave it alone. And then he picked up the whole check. So I threw down the 20.
Yeah.
But, just out of respect for him. But I was going to leave that 3-1. And my mother was getting furious and shit. And I go, what? She could what? Take a dump on my head? I'm going to leave her a fin? Come on. Anyways, thank you, Frank. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, thanks.
New Hampshire weighing in. But, it was very aggravating. Justin, and my favorite island on the planet, I actually have a summer home there, Staten Island, instead of Barbados. Justin, what's up?
Holy shit, I'm actually on the air. How are you, man?
What's up, Justin?
All right. Listen, I kind of agree. I totally agree with you. I'm not going to lie to you. A couple of things.
Yeah.
I'm going to rant, so stop me if I'm going too long. Never been on the radio ever. So here's the point.
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, anytime you mention anybody that didn't vote for Trump, you're right away a loony, lefty, crackpot, loser, bum. I am none of the above. My kids all graduated Catholic school. They all...
Hold on. Let me stop you there, Jay. Justin, hold on. Let me stop you there. You're mischaracterizing this show. I don't say that about people who didn't vote for Trump.
I saw your Carolines, but you definitely lump the non-Trump voters into the shittiest barrel I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know what that means, dude. Dude, I have people calling here that aren't Trump voters, and I don't do that. But you guys are really weakening the nation every time you vote. Go ahead.
Not you guys. Okay, and my point is this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The girl maybe she didn't know you. We go out to the local diners, and half them stink. The waitresses, waiters, they got their head up their ass with their phone. They don't care. They don't care about your meal. I don't know, man. It's just...
No, I know, but see, you sound...
That's what it is.
Yeah, okay. You're totally wrong, because I gave you 9 examples of her behavior, why she's passive-aggressive. I'm not pulling this out of thin air. I didn't just go, this bitch, and I had somebody sitting next to me.
I listen to you every night.
All right, brother. All right. All right, Justin.
All right, we'll agree to disagree. Nice talking to you.
Call back. All right.
Take care, buddy.
Oh, you people. I don't fucking lump everybody. I didn't even vote for Trump in the primaries, by the way. I'll say it again. Okay? I just happen to be a fan of him making fun of the guy at the New York Times in a wheelchair. That was hilarious. That's right, Bobo Leber. Why? Because I'm a comedian. That's right. Let me take a couple more calls on this. Again, I like this. You know why I like this and brought this up? Because there's a lot involved here. First of all, just human behavior, passive aggressive. We're talking about psychology, right? We're talking about politics. We're living in polarized times. And I had a witness. Matt in Ohio. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Hey, Nick. First of all, love the new time slot. They need to give you another hour.
All right. More money, I'll take it.
But with that being said, I've had a similar instance, and it does suck when it happens at home. I assume you're in your home state, kind of like I was.
Yeah, I was in my hometown.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I was at an Outback, and I was wearing a Timber Precision Firearms T-shirt. It had a picture of a 1911 handgun on it.
Yes.
And this bitch got offended. I heard her talking some trash to a couple other waiters there, and she came back around and said, "Do you have a problem with my shirt?" And she said, "Yeah, I don't condone firearms."
Oh, fuck off.
I was like, okay, so you're against the sidearm that we used in World War I and II to save this country then, so you have a problem with freedom. And she just looked at me. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. And I didn't tip her. I literally, I swear to God, on my child's life, I left a condom on the table and said, "Here's your tip, go fuck yourself."
Holy shit, Matt. Was it used?
And it was still in the package, but I'm a little less classy when somebody pushes my buttons like that.
I was hoping it was loaded with ranch dressing, and you put it on a slice of bread and said, "Here you go, here's your tip." But
I should have.
Yeah. So, anyways, we live in a weird time. Thanks for the call, Matt, by the way. I mean, what, you think I'm imagining that in this day and age where cops can't get served at a Dunkin' Donuts or they get their balls busted at a Starbucks, I'm really coming out of left field with this in my hometown? A person who probably, give me a fucking break. Wake up, people. Wake up. It's always the same idiot. Give her the benefit of the doubt. Why? She's human. Meaning, we're a flawed species. And you know what? When I'm at a restaurant and get bad service or whatever, I still tip. So I'm not unreasonable in this way. It was just so obvious what was going on. Who had the beer? Well, there's 4 of us here and 3 of us ordered milk. I don't know how you could forget. Okay. Who had the soup? Well, it was me, but I asked for a bowl, not a cup. I'm going over the facts, folks. Okay. Was that rice peel? No, I asked for French fries, and you damn well heard me. And then my glass of water you forgot. Oh, for fucking 4. I'm hoping it was a tumor, but yeah, I'm hoping it was an aggressive type of, Let's put it this way. I hope she was in the Phillies locker room around 1993 and was breathing in the... I guess, what do we get? Now I'll take a couple more, and then I want to go on to the Google controlling the earth and deciding what's fake news and what's hate speech and what's supremacy and what's with their algorithms and the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League jumping in. And we all know, how they lean in their politics. And again, their attempt to control the world. Are you with me, Andy?
I very much am.
I know. Andy's understands the frustration. The frustration. The frustration. Pat in Iowa. I always like to hit the states that I won in the... Pat, what's up?
Yeah, Nick, I just wanted to say you did good with the waitress there because you didn't shoot her in the foot, did you? You didn't go, "Wow, motherfucker, dance for me."
Folks, you guys on the West Coast, again, we've been on the West Coast all the whole time, but I'm just saying, drive time, you might be listening in your cars for the first time. Every other reference we do here is probably a Sopranos reference, and that's what Pat's... Well, he's talking about a couple of things. Goodfellas, where Spider gets shot in the foot. Which one were you referencing, Pat? The Sopranos or Goodfellas?
That was Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, if you go back to that restaurant, you're digging the fucking hole.
Pat doesn't sound like he's from Iowa, does he? You sound
I'm
like
from Iowa. A huge fan of yours.
I appreciate it, man. I got to get out there. I have a summer home in Des Moines.
You should have told her, now go home and grab your fucking shine box.
Go home and get your shine box. Yo, motherfucker! I asked this bitch to christen my kid. Fucking $86 I charged her. All right, Pat. Thank you.
Thanks.
You got it, brother. Well, he referenced the shoot in the foot thing, and again, that was Goodfellas. You guys remember Spider getting shot in the foot, but they did a callback on The Sopranos. You remember this, Andy?
No.
I'm very surprised. He goes into a pastry store to get pastries, and there's a lot. You take a number.
Yes.
You
Yes,
take
yes,
a
yes.
number. And it was him and another guy, and the kid behind it was a young punk behind it, and he says, "No, you're next, Vito." There was a fat guy in line, and so Christopher just gets fucking pissed off, and he tells the fat guy, "Take a fucking walk," and now it's just Christopher, and he puts the close sign on the door. Now it's just him and the kid. He goes, "Hey." The kid goes, "Well, he was here before." "Oh, really? So I can leave and go fuck your sister and come back 20 minutes later that I'm first in line?" Get a fucking box. He pulls a gun on the kid's like, "Don't shoot me. I'm not going to fucking shoot you. Put 3 crawlers in there. Put fucking some cannoli." And then he goes, "Let me ask you a question. How come when you look at me, I don't look like anybody that you should worry about?" "No, seriously, I'm not going to fucking hurt you. How come you think I'm treating me like a pussy?" Just all the insecure. And the kid goes, I'm sorry. He gives him the box, and then Christopher shoots him in the foot. And he goes, "Hey, shit happens sometimes." It was a callback to the Goodfellas, to his. And again, if you guys aren't familiar with that show, I really think you're leaning gay. In a nice way. Let me take one more on this situation, and then I want to move on to Google controlling the earth, along with Zuckerberg and all the other fucking people who I'm glad were bullied as kids. Anybody with me? What the fuck? Okay, everybody's talking about probably going to get a few more. Tommy, no. David in Florida. Final.
Hey, Nick, love your show, man.
Thank you, David. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just realized if it wasn't for pussy, us guys could just live in caves next to a stream and trade meat and beer, and everything would be great.
Okay. And your thoughts on my interaction with the waitress?
She's a bitch.
Okay, guess we'll end it on that. Thanks, Dave. Thank you. Who would have guessed a guy who's reminiscing about cave times where we fucking eat meat and beat people over the head? What the Anyways, enough of that. I had to get that off my chest. And I slept like a baby that night, by the way. Well, not really, because I was at my parents' house and slept in my sister's old room, and there's no shades or anything, so it's 5 a.m. I have a hummingbird a foot from my nose, and fucking sun's beating in my eyes. Jesus Christ. There's something called curtains. Hello? Well, they were curtains. I forgot to shut them. Let's be honest. Let's talk about Google and why we should blow them up. And again, if ISIS hits us, I'll direct them to Google. And to, did you guys hear about Google? I was going to talk about this a few days ago. Well, they have a big problem. A Google software engineer's manifesto against diversity efforts has left female staff shaking in anger and forced the tech giant to defend its patchy record on racial and gender equality. Left women in anger, shaking in anger. The author's identity remains unknown. This is a software engineer, folks, that works for Google, and he wrote a little thing. The manifesto argues that the lack of women in tech and leadership is the result, at least in part, of innate differences between men and women. Oh, how shocking. And this is what he said, and I'm quoting him. I'm simply stating that the distribution of preferences and abilities of men and women differ in part due to biological causes, and that these differences may explain why we don't see equal representation of women in tech and leadership. Let me just translate that for the people who aren't, you're busy. You're driving, you trying to text as you're driving, you get 19. All he's saying is there's a difference biologically between men and women, and innate differences, and men are drawn to sciences and math, and actually, can I say this, are probably better at it. Now that just doesn't sit well with the broads at, Google. They went fucking, they went haywire like they always do. It's just so fucking, got nothing to do with intelligence. I believe women are better at a lot of shit than we are, and vice versa. But that's not good enough for radical feminists. You can't say that. You can't say that men are better at anything. That's all this guy said. And Google, let's go. This is interesting because it ties into another story that I'm going to talk about. But that's what he said, basic biological differences. And this guy, you guys remember a guy named Lawrence Summers? He was the economic advisor for, I don't know who, either George W. or Obama. Whatever. Remember he was speaking he was the president of Harvard. And he was talking about why there were more men in the science department or whatever, He didn't say that they were better or anything. He just brought up, and he eventually got canned from Harvard. The feminists went crazy. He didn't even come out and say, well, men are just better or whatever. So this guy's just saying, basically, there's a difference between men and women. 866-969-1969. After a number of female staffs described their disgust at the document on social media, Google sent out a company-wide memo saying it did not represent the company's views. Of course not, but they just went bug. The U.S. Department of Labor found in April that there were systemic issues with equal pay across Google, and described discrimination there as quite extreme. Google's perceived political leanings also came under fire, with the author, the guy who wrote this, the software engineer, arguing that those with conservative views currently have to stay in the closet to dodge open hostility. Now, would you really find that hard to believe in today's world? I thought he was talking about Hollywood. I thought he was talking about college campuses. Are you really going to find that hard to believe in Silicon Valley and some high-tech company that conservatives better keep their apps shut? But these far-left feminists are just fucking brutal. He said, and this is from his manifesto, when it comes to diversity and inclusion, Google's left bias has created politically correct monoculture that maintains its hold by shaming dissenters into silence. Just like being a conservative in show business or a conservative on a campus. Conservatives tend to be higher in conscientiousness, which is required for much of the drudgery and maintenance work characteristic of a mature company, whatever the fuck that means. But again, now here comes, hours after this became public, Google's new vice president of diversity, integrity, and governance, Danielle Brown, got her giant dirty bloomers in a bunch. She sent an email to company employees saying that it's incorrect assumptions about gender were not a viewpoint that I or this company endorses, promotes, or encourages. I'll tell you who does endorse it, another woman, Mother Nature. She endorses it, Danielle. Just because you want something to be doesn't mean it is so. Can you get that through your fucking fascist heads, far left, feminists? That's all. I have friends who are feminists. That's fine. But the far left ones are just. Don't women do some things better than us? I mean, they know how to iron, make a nice sandwich. Am I right, folks? Right, ladies? Things like that. You know I'm kidding, don't you? But I'm just saying, we do some things better. Spatial skills. That's what men are known for. And you're like, well, how do you know that? Well, I've seen my wife try to fucking parallel park. I filmed it. It was a 2.5-hour thing I put on. 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969 is the number. But Danielle Brown, again, the new vice president of diversity, integrity, and governance, which is just another way of saying, let's get rid of white males. Can I just sum that up for you? That's all this is about. She doesn't agree with this. I don't care what you agree with. It's biology. I don't give a fuck if you agree with it or not. On Twitter, women in tech industry call for Google to take action. Brianna Wu, that's W-U, Oh, relax. This is satellite. Brianna Wu, a U.S.-based software engineer, asked who is going to be fired over the manifesto, while Jana Dogan, a programmer at Google, tweeted, "If HR does nothing in this case, I will consider leaving this company for real for the first time in 5 years."
White power, 1, 2, 3, 4. I stand and watch my country going down the drain.
They have to. I'll get to the story. The other part about Google, they have too many white males working there. That's the other thing. This is it's just so funny. But the fucking. This is the head of the NOW organization, National Organization for Women, giving her opinion and. What was that? Oh, come on, Danielle. Don't be like that, you Nazi. 866-969-1969, the phone number. But how about that? Women go, who's going to be fired? We're real open-minded, huh? Because some guy had the balls to say, well, biologically, we're different. Men are wired towards sciences and math, maybe a little more than... And Larry Summers didn't even say that when he was speaking at Harvard, and he got the boot. Didn't even say that. Nothing? Really? Anybody get an opinion out there? Or are you all brainwashed? And don't get me wrong, I met women way smarter than me in college. Half of them did my homework. Because I bought them beers and shit, and they had nice asses. Now listen. No, but they were way brighter. That's not the point. I'm just saying. And again, but they're in trouble. Google, they're kind of hypocrites. But look, they were the first company, by the way, the high-tech company, to disclose demographic information about their workforce in public. And they revealed Google to be more white and male than the likes of LinkedIn and Yahoo. The company released figures in June showing that the proportion of female and black employees across the company as a whole had not changed from 2015 to 2016. Ooh, oh goodness, almost 12 months. Almost 12 months. There was a modest increase in the proportion of women in tech and leadership roles and the number of Latino employees, but only 20% of Google's tech roles were filled by women, below the national average of 26%. So what are you comparing them to? What other company? Asian employees made up 35% of the company's workforce, but they were underrepresented in leadership roles. Just call it what it is. You don't want white guys doing anything. And the fact is, white guys are pretty sharp. If I have to sit here and say the NBA is much better because it's predominantly black, which it is, and that's a true statement, would you want to watch an NBA with all white guys or 90% white? You want to watch them play a foot under the rim? I have to admit to that, right? Well, then you have to admit the white guys are kind of sharp when it comes to math and science. So are Asians. Asians are sharper than white guys. And he also said in the manifesto, I love this guy. By the way, nobody knows who he is because he has to, if he made it public, he'd probably be hanged. He said and he summed it up beautifully, we need to stop assuming that gender gaps imply sexism. Exactly. Can't we just admit some people are better at other things than other people, whether it's race, gender? We're not all equal, folks, in all areas of life. We're just not. I'd love to be able to play fucking hoops. You should see me. I tackle people. They go in for a layup, I cut their legs out. You know that guy? That's me. I'm pretty good playmaker. But, I shoot from the chest like Bob Cousy did. A two-hand set shot for my tits. You don't see black guys doing that. They fucking dunk it behind their backs. Oh, Nick, that's generalizing. Not really. Let's go to Mitchell in Illinois. Mitch, what's going on, fella?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm fucking angry. Go ahead.
Dude, I don't necessarily, I've never listened to your show before. I was listening to Craig Ferguson before you. And then I was surprised when I heard the topic you're talking about and your attitude towards people and whatnot. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because you're used to hearing left-wing politically correct bullshit, and then somebody comes on speaking the truth and defending almost a white male point of view, and it's just crazy to you, right?
Well, I guess I wouldn't consider anything a truth. I think it's all opinions, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Well, yeah, and including the guy that works at Google. So why does he have to hide his face?
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you do.
I just can't believe. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
How did you? Are you married?
Yeah, I'm married. Are you married, Mitch? When did you look?
Not.
No, I didn't think so. Do you like girls?
Yeah. Huh?
Do you like girls?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Okay. What's it like? What's it like? What's it like? What's that? Go ahead. What? I didn't hear you.
I said, is that an issue for you? You don't. What do you think about gay people?
I like gay people. Got plenty of gay friends. Probably more than you living in fucking Illinois. Why are you so defensive, Mitch? What's it like to be caught in groupthink? You ever have any thoughts of your own?
What do you mean? I don't even fucking have cable. I have no social media. I got XM radio because I watch the Grateful Dead show.
All right. There you go. Oh, Grateful Dead! The Grateful Dead! He's a Grateful Dead fan. That explains it all. Smoke another joint, stupid.
You talked about...
Shut up. Get him out of here. Get him off my fucking phone. I don't have time for you, you hippie fuck.
Bye-bye, dickhead.
Fucking idiot. Hey, wow, you're really out there. Wow, you're defending, you have an unpopular opinion. That makes you crazy. That's what you just said. Jesus Christ almighty. A rat ran up my nightie, bit my Both guys are laughing.
I haven't heard that in 30
I know, that's why I'm bringing it up. I don't know how that came to me. Do you hear that, though? I'm crazy. First of all, it's not even my point of view. I'm reading about a guy in Google, and I'm agreeing with him that men do some things better than women, and women do. And that's crazy to him in stupid blue Illinois, who gave us Barack Obama and his tight end wife from the Denver Broncos, Michelle. I'm kidding. She's a fine lady. What's that, Brendan goes tight end? I thought you said she was a defensive back last week. Let's go to Cooper in Texas, my kind of state.
What's going on, brother?
Cooper, I don't know. What are you in the bathroom, in the shower? You sound kind of echoey.
Man, I just got out of the car. I'm taking a fucking piss. You all right?
Yeah, that's terrific. Maybe you want to call me back after you put your hog back in your dirty pants.
I'm thinking about you. No, man, hey, I'm just saying, you guys changed the fucking time on the show, I guess. So I usually get out at 5 down here, and you're on fucking later. It's awesome.
Oh, good. I'm glad it works out. Yeah, they changed us. Tonight's the first night at 8 Eastern time.
Well, God bless you.
I'm glad that works out for you. What do you do in Texas, Cooper?
Well, I played music for living 35 years. Now I work at a big truck dealership, slinging fucking truck parts.
I love the jaded. Well, you guitarist, keyboard? What do you do?
Yeah, play bass.
Played bass. Did bass players ever get laid?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
After the fucking drummer's done with them.
After the drum.
Hey, check it out. Born in New York, fucking raised in Michigan, been here since 81.
Do you like Texas?
Fuck no, it's too hot. People are nice.
Yeah.
Weather sucks.
Yeah, my brother said that. My brother lived in Texas and loved the state, loved the people. You can get a 40,000 square house for $11,500, and but again, it's 109 degrees at 9 a.m. sometime.
Yeah, fucking let your kids outside. They'll bake on the fucking sidewalk.
Well, let them out.
Yeah, fuck them. You gotta go to school and shit.
It's good to see you're not bitter about the music career.
No, fuck no. Hey, my band had 6 CDs out nationwide. We fucking rocked it for about 20 years, and I got a day job.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. I'm headed that way.
Right?
I just filled out an application at the Favor Shoe Store.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. Try 10.5 right up your ass.
All right, Cooper. Thank you for calling, brother. Good luck to you.
All right, man. Love the show.
Thank you. You should. It's terrific. Thank you. I loved it. Oh, did we go way over? We did.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can go whenever, but
no, I know. I didn't realize I was having such a good time here.
Yeah, keep going.
No, we'll take a break. I didn't even see the sign. Did you give me a sign?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Minutes ago.
I'm enjoying myself. Maybe I even like this time slot. I hate to admit to the bosses, but yeah, we're talking about Google and a guy that worked there, a software engineer, wrote a little manifesto saying, there's a reason that there aren't that many women doing what he's doing for a living. And he attributes it to biological differences. God forbid in 2017 you say that. And he's, catching a whole lot of flack, even though we don't know who he is. And why is that relevant? Because Google was all over the news today. They also own YouTube. You know that, don't they? And so they're putting down all kinds of new rules as far as what is you can say on YouTube and what kind of videos you can post, because they are the arbiter of what's real, what's fake, what's hate, what's not hate. And that really bothers the poo-poo out of me, and it should bother you too. So when I come back, we'll continue with this, and we'll go on to the censorship that Yahoo is trying to impose on you YouTubers. 866-969-1969. Back after this. Nick Dipaolo, a straight white male host. How you doing? Yeah. 866-969-1969. Currently talking about the controversy where some white fella, I'm guessing, software engineer at Google had the nerve to say, well, hey, a lot of, it's predominantly white males working here because gravitate towards this. And it's more about gender, actually, men than women and whatever. And, he had to say that hiding under his desk with bulletproof vest on, 2 helmets, and because we know how it is at Google. And, of course, Danielle, what did I say her last name was? Brown? Danielle Brown. She's the vice president of integrity and leftist good things, and we're all equal, and we're all going to hold hands and kumbaya. I think that was the name of her title. Such nonsense. Diversity captain of the diversity team. She didn't agree at all. In her letter to Google employees, Brown also took issue with the notion Google stifles certain political opinions. She said, I've never worked at a company that has so many platforms for employees to express themselves, she wrote. Employees of different political views should feel free to voice their opinion, she said. But, she should have ended it there, right? But, that discourse needs to work alongside the principles of equal employment. Translation. In other words, if you're not pro-diversity and anti-white male, shut the fuck up. That's how I interpret it. She should have stopped right there. Employees of different political views should feel free to voice their opinions, she said. But then she said,
Ein Vorführen durch eigene Arbeit, durch eigenen Fleiß, eigenen Schloss.
Again, Heidi Fleiss. Listen, she mentions Heidi Fleiss.
Durch eigene Arbeit, durch eigenen Fleiß, eigenen Schloss.
And you blew it! You blew it!
For the love of Pete. I mean, how can anybody believe that this isn't true? You really think you can walk around as a conservative working at fucking Google? If you do, you're really high as a kite. And Google's also in the news. YouTube, this is the headline, YouTube moves to censor, in quotes, controversial content, brings ADL, that's the Anti-Defamation League, on board as flagger. Google has now stepped up its, by the way, Google owns YouTube, I mentioned, has now stepped up its war on free speech and the freedom of the press through its popular subsidiary YouTube. On Tuesday, YouTube announced online that it is set to begin censoring content deemed controversial, that's in quotes, and even if that content does not break any laws or violate YouTube's user agreement. Again.
Ein Vorführen durch eigene Arbeit, durch eigenen Fleiß, eigenen Entschlossenheit.
What the hell's going on out here?
You know. Misleadingly dubbed as an effort to, this is what they put in quotes, to fight terror content online. The new program will flag content for review through a mix of machine algorithms, and human review guided by standards set up by expert NGOs, that's non-governmental organizations, right? And institutions that are part of YouTube's Trusted Flagger program. Trusted. You hear the arrogance on these motherless fucks? And if you people are falling for it, you deserve it. YouTube stated that such organizations bring expert knowledge of complex issues like hate speech, radicalization, and terrorism. Oh, excuse us. We'll let you decide what all that is. Can you imagine Andy Fiore, Andy Flowers?
No, it's scary more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, you're watching tyranny. Orwellian horseshit. One of the leading institutions directing the course of the Trusted Flagger program is the Anti-Defamation League. They couldn't be. They make the ACLU look like the Klan. The ADL. The ADL was initially founded to stop the defamation of Jewish people and to secure justice and fair treatment to all, but has gained a reputation over the years for labeling any critics of Israel's government as anti-Semites. Which is weird because that's a right-wing sort of take as far as Israel goes, right? But then they go too far they're going to decide based on that what's terrorist speech, what's hate speech. Oh, the ADL, yeah. In addition to it labeling Palestinian rights activists as extremists, the ADL has also given numerous U.S. conservatives the same label, including Mike Cernovich and Gavin McInnes, our buddy, Gav. Cernovich and McGinnis, though controversial, are extremely popular figures among, first of all, controversial to who? To you guys, you dinks, you fascist fucks. Extremely popular figures among conservatives and Trump supporters on YouTube and social media. Cernovich's website, Danger and Play, gets nearly 150 million views every month. Gavin, our buddy McGinnis, co-founder of Vice Media, also enjoys wide viewership. And the ADL is also known for being quite selective in identifying what they term, what extremism is. While it consistently labels pro-Palestinian groups and those critical of the Israeli government as extremists, it has avoided that label with respect to right-wing. Okay, they're pro-Israel. I understand that. But it's when they start going after conservatives. In addition, although it has flagged figures of the so-called alt-right, the ADL has not done the same for similar left-wing groups such as, Antifa. Those are the ones that throw, break windows and fucking prevent people from speaking on campus and with their little faggy masks. And a group some states have listed as a domestic terror organization. With the ADL at the helm, YouTube's new censorship policy is likely to selectively target those critical of Israel's government as well as conservative voices. See how they lump in? Listen to this. Here's where it gets really creepy. According to the announcement, any user who searches for keywords or terms deemed controversial by YouTube's chosen authorities will be redirected to a playlist curated videos intended to directly confront and debunk the content sought by the user. How does that sit with you, Andy Flowers?
I don't like it one bit.
Critics have warned that the mix of censorship and redirection to curated propaganda videos would create a PC extreme left propagandizing echo chamber. Oh, we're not there already? What, are you kidding me? With the consequences that would go far beyond combating online. This is why they're hypocrites. Okay, so they're ready to go after you and I, Andy, people who think like us and shit, right? Yet, their company is being accused of being all white males and shit. Oh, they're all over the place. They're going to decide, folks, what hate speech is and whatever on YouTube. And then if you go to it and, they will send you.
Yeah.
In other words, it's almost like, I'm thinking like Russia. They would send you the political rehabilitation, they would call it. This is what you're watching it. It's unfolding before your eyes. God damn it. I don't use YouTube that much. I fucked up. Ah, goodness gracious, Heloise. Let's go to Malcolm in Denver. Malcolm, what's going on?
Nick, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, that chick from, what was it, Google? She sounds like a real peach. Sorry, I misspoke. I meant Petri dish.
Yes.
So, anyways, since I don't know when we started getting outraged that women and men are different. I mean, you think 10,000 years ago when we were hunting and gathering, we would send out fucking Danielle from Google to hunt some beef for us to eat, or would she stay at home and take care of the kids?
Well, I don't want her to stay at home. If she was good as me as going out and hunting, I'd have her go out. But the point being is, yeah, the guys probably went out and smacked the whatever monster they were eating back then over the head. But, you know what I mean? My point being, Malcolm, that, you know, guys gravitate to certain industries like this because they're good at it.
Of course. And start hiring by merit again.
And I think most women would agree with that, too, by the way. Most women. But again, it's the far left. The chicks, you know, the 5 o'clock shadows and the 38-inch ankles that have a real problem with it.
And you're exactly right. Now that they're running, you know, they want to run social media, and that's where free speech is. And that means they're running free speech, which means there is no free speech.
This is correct. And it's going more and more towards that. And people are too busy. I don't know what they're too busy, ironically, on social media to pay attention. Anyways, thank you, Malcolm, for the call. Let's get a woman in here. Finally, Stacy from California, who works in a male-dominated industry. So you're in porn, Stacy. No, it's a joke.
No, I'm in sales.
What do you sell? What do you sell, Stacy?
I sell liquor.
Okay.
So it's about one woman for every 10 men. But my perspective is it's probably very similar to Google in that way more men apply for the positions than women. When women get in our positions, they excel and they do really well. But 20 men apply to every one woman. So I bet if you looked at, you know, the tech industry with Google, and you looked at how many men apply for their job, it's probably very similar.
I agree. And that's all this guy is saying. That's all the guy said in the manifesto. He believes it's because of biological, you know, men gravitate to certain areas. And he mentions also that women are more people-oriented, which is true, at least from my experience. But do you feel, Stacy, that do you feel that you have to be 20 times better than the guy to
No, I actually feel like I have an advantage as a woman.
How's that?
People have a harder time saying no to me because they feel like I emotionally can't handle things. Hearing no.
Is that right?
So I think if you put me and a man in the same situation and I present a deal and he presents a deal,
right,
it's easier for you to tell him no because you feel like he's not going to, you know, go in the car and cry about it.
That's very interesting. I had never thought of that angle.
The funny thing is if you look at my company and their credit department, it's all women. So when people look from the outside in and they say, you know, you guys only hire men, it's like, no, well, there's no men in our credit department, but that's just because men don't apply for those jobs.
I know. When did that become controversial to say?
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to chime in on the diversity thing also.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of companies are trying to create diversity. But what I've noticed is, and I'm sure Google is the same, is they create groups. So there's a Latino group, a women's group, an LGBT group. And I'm thinking, okay, so you want all of us to come together, but you're separating us into these groups by what makes us different.
Yes. No, exactly. It's the people who, and I've been saying that for years too, and people who are obsessed, they want a colorblind society, they're the ones that are obsessed with dividing us. And again, that's identity politics that does not come from my side of the aisle. And I do lean a little right, and I'm not as conservative as everybody thinks. But that's definitely, you know, that's a tenet of the Democrat Party. Divide us up into a million pieces and cut each other's throats. And it's war. Stacy, thank you for the call.
Okay, thank you.
I'm telling you. That's all the guy said. That's all he said. But this YouTube thing's more disturbing to me. Again, which is owned by Google, folks. Them and their friggin' algorithms and shit. The arrogance, the pomp. I can see now how revolution's happening. You know what I mean? I really can see it. It really fries my apples. It really does. Get some audio of Trump here.
Well, things I'm smart, not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart, and I want respect.
Oh, I'll never get tired of that. Let's go to I don't know. Jesus, the phones are lit up all over. Let's go to Mark in Canada. He's been on the line for a while. Oh, Canada, home and native land. What up, Mark?
Hey, Nick, I appreciate the answer.
What's going on?
Saw you up here with Artie and Colin and Shuley many years ago when you guys all came up to open up for Hansy. So I haven't seen you in a while. Got to get you back up here.
Okay, go ahead, Mark.
You know, I don't know why you're surprised. You remember Jimmy the Greek?
Of course I do.
So I mean, that was how long ago he got shit canned for complimenting the black athlete. Really, at the end of the day.
Well, I guess you could say he was compliment. He brought up selective breeding and whatnot. And again, you can argue that or whatever the fuck. The point is, you'd be able to argue it and not get fired or whatever the fuck. Exactly right. And I think I'm surprised because that was like 30 years ago. And I think we're regressing. We can't. It's getting worse as far as.
Well, let me ask you. You think they'd put All in the Family on the air today if it was a new show?
Of course not. Unless again, they'll probably redo it. I heard they'll do it with Archie Bunker as a black guy and you know, and or whatever, or you know, meathead.
Like the new Honeymooners.
Yeah, like the new Honeymoon. Yeah, how did that go over? Remember they did the black version? They did a movie.
Let me ask you one thing.
Yeah.
Before you cut me off because I'm an asshole.
Maple Leafs.
Yeah, they suck. Don't worry about it. But go Jays. Whatever did happen with you and Artie? I used to love that show.
Nothing. We went our separate ways.
No, there's no catalyst. There's no one thing broke the camel's back, so to speak.
Well, we ordered a pizza one night. He ate 5 slices to my 3, and that did it for me.
Motherfucker.
Thanks, Mark. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. Jesus Christ almighty, really? 5 years later? What the fuck?
And you blew it! You blew it!
No, we blew it together. Jesus Christ. Come here. Just the fucking wrong distance. Bill in Los Angeles, welcome to the show, Bill.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
What's happening, Billy? It's good to have again, West Coast drive time. Where are you? L.A., right?
Thereabouts, somewhere amidst all the horse shit on the freeways.
Okay, so you're in your car. That's what I wanted to hear.
Exactly. Hands-free, so don't worry. I'm not going to kill anybody today.
I don't give a fuck if you do. It's too crowded out there anyways.
Anyway, I just kind of wanted to make 2 points, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I accept it. Referring back to your earlier statement about YouTube, you said Google owns it.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't that mean YouTube is a business, and a business has a right to decide what they want to allow and not allow? Like, nigger stick chink and...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but where does the Constitution come in the First Amendment?
Well, in a public place, doesn't it? I mean, YouTube can't censor you out in public, can they?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I just know they're not going to decide what the point is, Bill. It's obvious they lean one way in their politics and who they're trying to shut down. I don't care if they're private or not. That's the issue.
Well, and that leads me to my second point. If they're going to be that way, why not just drive other video creators and content creators to other websites like Dailymotion or whatever, and YouTube will eventually see that they're shooting themselves in the head?
I don't think so, because I think we have so many dummies in this country that fucking will actually believe this shit and go, oh, they even in the descriptions, they use the word supremacist in the description of what they're going to find extreme. Gee, have you ever heard of a left-wing supremacist or a liberal supremacist? No. It's. I see what you're getting at, but no, they're like a rigged game, and it affects all of us, in my opinion. But I see your point. I see your point, though.
I miss you on Tough Crowd. Wish it was still going.
Me too. Me too. I wish we were getting residuals, Bill.
All right, have a good one, Nick. Good talking to you.
All right, Billy. Thank you. That's like going, well, they're a private company. They can do it there. Okay, then we don't want to hire any fucking black people at Dunkin' Donuts. You all right with that? You know what I mean? Hey. By the way, tomorrow night we're off, folks. We're playing a best of the Nick Dipaolo show. So, because I have a live gig tomorrow night at this time. The Fat Black Pussycat here in New York City. Go to thecomedycellar.com for tickets. Probably sold out. It's a tiny little joint. And August 25th, 26th, come see me at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Even you people on the 405 in L.A., make a hard right. Start now. And September 16th, the Newtown Theater in Newtown, Pennsylvania. What a beautiful theater that is. I'm having a one-legged girl open for me, and picked her up hitchhiking in Vermont, and she's got no hair. She's got a glass eye, but she's very funny. We call her Shaggy. Go to nickdip.com for tickets and dates. Oh, Steve in Indiana. He's pissed that I don't like fish. Stevie boy.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
What's
big fan? Great to talk to you.
Thank you, man. What's happening? It's a jam band, Steve? I didn't know. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so I am a white male, conservative, unigender individual, okay?
What is unigender?
Well,
you only like pussy?
Well, I'm a male. Yes, that absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, just strictly vagina is on my plate. Anyhow,
that's very close-minded of you, Steve, but go ahead.
I'm good with being closed-minded, as you want to call it, or having common sense.
I hear you.
Really sure. So, anyhow, you shut down the Grateful Dead fan really quickly earlier.
Yes, I did.
So, and I don't really get it. I mean, I do get it because my wife and I and we go to. I'm more of a Fish fan than a Grateful Dead fan, but we go to a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
And most of the crowd there is just so left and liberal, and but I guess my friends consider me, quote, a hippie or whatever because of the music that I listen to and what I'm involved with.
Sure.
But my views are so conservative, and I work very hard to support my family, and without this jam music, I don't know that I would be able to keep my sanity, but you shut that guy down right away because he was a Grateful Dead fan. And I would just like to say that not all of us are mindless.
No, I know.
Hula hoop spinning, fucking,
hacky sack playing non-douching.
Right, and because yeah. So what do you hate about it so bad? I mean, you shut that guy down, and I would just like to defend fans of the music that might have more common sense than most.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I'm with you, Steve.
And that's the Andy Fiore.
Thanks, brother.
He's got a beard down to his tits, and he's got nice hair. He's got the hair of Susan Day on the Partridge Family, parted in the middle. No, Steve. Obviously, look, I exaggerate, but I for every guy like you that's is conservative but follows Fish or the Grateful Dead, there's I'd say 51,000 that are hippie, pot smoking, left leaning douchebags who think we're going to all hold hands and live happily ever after. And I just think that's
true.
But no, I don't look at. And the other thing, the Grateful Dead came up when I was at University of Maine back in the 80s. They came up to play up there, and I came out of the front door of my fraternity. I know that makes me a bad white guy because I was a fraternity, and there's a kid pissing on our lawn, so I chased him off.
Goddamn hippies. I remember the first I had ever heard about the Grateful Dead. It was the first time my parents went out to Vegas. They took a trip out to Las Vegas, and they came back, and my mom said, well, there was a band called the Grateful Dead there, and there were stinky people everywhere, and it smelled like shit. They smelled like shit, and I hope you don't become one of those people. And although I shower, I do have big ears. I listen to some fucking fantastic music. I recommend you do the same, my friend.
All right, Steve. You got it, brother.
All right. Keep going, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to go out and buy a Grateful Dead... buy. Is there a poster out there I can get at the store, Andy?
I'm sure we can find one for you.
Wipe my ass with. Anyhow, let's take a break, shall we? Come back, and we got off the track a little bit with but he was on there for a while. He's upset that I didn't like that. But Google, again, trying to decide, what you can put on YouTube and shit. And when you actually do a search, if they think you're up to no good, they're going to redirect you to what they think is good. And if you can agree with that, anybody that can agree with that, you're just fucking retarded. Could I put it any clearer than that? Back after this. Hello, welcome back, folks. The first night of the new time, the 8 to 10 slot here on the East Coast. Good to be with you. 866-969-1969. Final segment of the evening on a Monday. Tomorrow night, the best of. Again, though, 8 o'clock star. And I'll be at the Fat Black Pussycat downtown. Yes, I will. And we were talking about Google all over the news today. First of all, one of their employees wrote a little manifesto giving his opinion on why that mostly white males work there or whatever. And that started a shitstorm with, like I said, the far left chicks who just, it's just relentless. I can't, I spend so much time on this. And then Google, which owns YouTube, they're making a move to, censor what they consider controversial content. And they bring on the Anti-Defamation League to, help them decide when's the last time the ADL defended somebody like me or Anthony Comia or anybody who isn't infected with groupthink. Kevin in Long Island says, Greg Fitzsimmons, my buddy, was talking about me on Legion of Skanks. Kevin, what's up?
Yeah, how you doing there, Nick?
What's up,
You
Kev?
hear me all right?
What's that?
I'm on speakerphone because I don't want to be like all these jackass callers calling and misquoting someone.
No, I
got
can.
the actual clip cut up for you.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, hold on. This is the clip of Greg.
Oh.
Keeping it white. It is. I love the guys that are always saying like it's hard for a white guy these days. The Nick Dipaolos of the world. Yeah. Like, how about fucking being a white guy trying to get a break? Well, I don't know. It's not that hard. If it's hard for you, you're not that good of a white guy.
It's not a nightmare, but we could get Dave pretty riled up and start.
I won't let it play on, but just another passive-aggressive trick I want you to be aware of.
All right, thanks. I never said it's hard to be a white. That's so classic that's such a liberal, stupid, reflexive react. I've never said it's hard or that we're oppressed. That's just Fitzsimmons disappoints me sometimes. I think he's, brighter than that. But I've never said that. Find me a quote with me going, it's hard to be a white guy. If you're not acknowledging, we read every day, we've done stories here since I've come on the air about college campuses actually putting out shit about getting rid of white masculinity as the problem today. That's what I talk about. I've never said it's hard to be a white guy. And I say the difficulties of being a person of color are exaggerated. And I got a bunch of people of color who would agree with me on that. Anyways, Fitzsimmons. He wanted me to be, he wants me to do his podcast again, because, by the way, the last time I did his podcast, it was the highest rated podcast in the history of the Greg Fitzsimmons podcast. So, anyways, can't get that mad at Greggy. He just falls into that. He grew up in Tarrytown, white, fucking Westchester. You can't get any more liberal, and he's swallowed the poison for years. And this whole area needs to be douched of their groupthink. They need a real douching. A nice fucking rubber hose right up there with a nice steady stream of conservative spit right into that stink hole to flush it out and wake the fuck up. Stink hole? Hello. Hi, I'm Charlie Rose. For the love of God. Chris in Alberta. That would be Canada. Chris?
Yes, indeed. Canada, indeed.
How are you?
I was just sitting here thinking, this whole argument about how many women work at Google here, that's kind of a moot point until you look behind it. And since the liberal university spearheads so much equality bullshit,
yes,
why don't they go and look at their own enrollment and see what percentage of women are enrolling in computer programming and things like this? If women are only making up 20% of the class, you shouldn't expect them to be representing 50% of the workforce.
That is correct. But now you're talking common sense and backing it up with facts and numbers. They don't like that. It's all about emotion, Chris. It's all about emotion. It's about going in, good.
Yeah, absolutely on the emotion thing for sure. But, now, I don't know. Hey, maybe who knows? Maybe women are making up 60% of the class right now, and if that's the case, then yeah, there's something a little wrong there. But something tells me I doubt it.
Yeah, well, that's what businesses do. They hire we try. It used to be a meritocracy. You hire somebody who's really good at something, and that's why white NBA owners have predominantly black teams. They're really good athletes. That's a generalization. There's a few Asians who can dunk. No, there aren't. Oh, God help me. I'm so tired of spending my life on this, you fucking PC dummies. That's just what it is. Our Father who art in heaven. Jim in Mississippi has an opinion on the Anti-Defamation League and, and their input to YouTube. And go ahead, Jim. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hey, Nick. I'm a big fan of yours. I talked to you a bunch of times at 6 o'clock, but now it's good to talk to you at 8 o'clock.
Thank you for making the switch over with us.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. I was looking at the ADL thing, and I mean, it might not be the worst thing for them to censor that, because some people could use a refresher. You know, if they're getting too dark in their searches, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they only point out those dark searches when they come from the right. It seems.
Yeah, that could be true.
That seems to be the problem.
Yeah, but in terms of the ADL, I mean, it's kind of good to have them around,
yes.
Because. Like when I was in third grade, I was called, I was called a bitch more times than Heidi Montag at Bloomingdale's.
What? Wait a minute, Jim. Now, did you say in third grade?
Yeah, no.
In Mississippi?
Fifth or sixth.
In Mississippi?
Yeah, they're pretty brutal.
Are you Jewish?
No.
Oh, why were they calling you a bitch?
No, because I don't know. I don't know, but these kids in Mississippi are ruthless.
Well, yeah, Yeah, you say the kids in Mississippi are ruthless, and so are the 20-somethings in Seattle when a conservative tries to speak at one of their campuses. So. But yeah. I agree. Look, the ADL has a purpose because there was a lot of anti-Semitism, but they don't seem to be playing right down the middle. They seem to. I agree with them on Israel. I'm like pro-Israel and stuff, but
Yeah, I'm very pro-Israel as well. Yeah.
But they throw me and our friend Gavin McGinnis into the alt-right, which I don't give a shit. Good, I'm alt-right. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I agree. But it's great talking to you, Nick. And,
thank you, Jimmy.
You're my favorite comedian.
I appreciate Jimmy, and don't let anybody call you bitch anymore. You've grown up to be a fine young fella or girl.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Take it easy. What the hell was that about? When I was in sixth grade, they used to call me a bitch all the time. Why is that? Well, I went to school in a mini skirt and a big floppy hat, and these kids can be ruthless down in Mississippi. I don't know where kids aren't ruthless. I was a real prick. I remember hitting a fat kid in the back of the legs with a wiffle ball bat on a really cold day. It's a true story. I cried about it. Like months later, it bothered me so much that I did it to this kid. He was kind of, and I waited for him. He walked through, came through an overpass, and I smacked him right in the back of the echoed. What a horrible story that is. But then again, like I said, then when I was a freshman in high school, the senior broke a fucking payphone thing over my head at the mall, a receiver. Cracked me. Remember I told you I went to a metal shop and I fucked up his project?
Right.
We were making, the project was making, cannon, like a Civil War cannon. You had to turn down a 3-inch piece of stock. It took like 3 weeks to work on this thing, and we were about 2 days from finishing. I went over to the lathe and I reversed it, and it fucking blue smoke's coming off it and shit. I took off. It was the last class of the day. I took off out of there. And the kid, the bully, actually laughed about it. He couldn't believe that I had the balls to ruin his project. Well, that's how I was raised. That greasy eye for an eye. Cannon for a cannon. That call just cracked me up, though, that guy going, yeah, they just call me a bitch all the time. Why? Because it's Mississippi. Oh, goodness gracious. Heloise. Let's go to John in Florida. John, welcome to the show. I'm sure it's hot as hell down there.
Yes, very hot. How you doing, Nick?
John, what's with the sinkholes in Florida? What are you guys living on, mud pies down there? What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much in that pecan pie. Good stuff. Got to try one sometime.
It's creepy. Every time I put on the news.
I'm as conservative as they come.
Yep.
I'm a veteran. I'm a Republican.
Yep.
And I have the Island of Misfit toys working for me.
I got
trannies. I got gays. I got super libs. I got super Republicans. The main thing that we all draw together for is working ethics, and this all works out. Even the super libs and the whatever you want to call them, even weird things. Hey, they all want to work and make a living and make a lot of money, and they all come together for that.
Yeah,
so
but we're not talking
we all
about.
Have a little bit in common.
We're not talking about drug dealing, John. We're talking about actual businesses.
It's an actual business.
What? No.
I got them.
What kind of business is it?
It's a courier business.
You got trannies working for you in a courier business?
Oh yeah. A couple of my best people are.
Yeah.
Well,
and they're good at that.
You wouldn't even know, but they're conservative. They get that. Hey, work ethic and doing what's right, and that's all that matters. I want people that work for me that have a good work ethic,
yes,
and want to make money for their family, and they can make a lot of money.
Well, let me ask you.
That's all good for me.
Let me ask you a question, Joe. Why don't I see them why don't they get to voice their opinions on TV and shit? Where's the conservative tranny? He would not be put on TV by the left.
I got a couple of them working for me, and the thing is, they are ostracized by their own group.
I know, because they don't walk the party line. They don't walk the party line.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, it's not them making the decision. It's the party making the decision.
Yes.
It's not their decision. It's their group saying they're not favorable.
I know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, well, it's like being
but they're awesome.
I believe it.
Good guys, good women.
Well, that's
everything.
That's,
it doesn't matter.
All right, God damn it! I get the point. They're good people, John.
Love you, Nick. Love you, Nick.
All right.
Next week.
All right, Johnny. Mother of Christ. Yes, I'm with you. That's the point. A meritocracy. You really think an owner of an NFL team's going to go, like Prescott, the quarterback for the Cowboys. Jerry Jones is old crusty white. He fits the prototype, isn't he? White Arkansas guy should be the racist, rich white owner. Do you really think he's going to start Tony Romo over Prescott? What's he want to do? Where's the money? It's in winning, isn't it? But again, you talk to certain people and they talk like it's 1966. What's a courier service? Delivering shit?
Yeah, messenger service.
I just poked myself in the eye with my Jesus. I scraped my cornea. I just ruined my sclera. Did you see that? The great. Arm of my glasses went in an inch into my... There's like blood on them. There's blood and eyelashes on the end of my... What do you mean, no? Fucking call hyperbole. This guy's a comic. Jesus, Brendan, we're going to switch seats. Fucking get this guy on the phones. Anyways, I like the new time slot. You know why? I'm going to go out right now and have like 11 drinks. And I'm going to stay up, go home, snort some coke, watch a guy sell those copper pans till 4 a.m. And then I'll sleep late. I got to start my days later. All right, kids. Thanks. It was fun to be on drive time. This is a new slot, 8 p.m. in the East, 5 in the West. We'll talk to you kids tomorrow. No, best of. And we'll talk to you live on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves.